Today we're gonna make some corn gazpacho and prawn skewers. I love this recipe because it kind of makes you feel like you're at a party in the summer. It's really refreshing to have a nice cold soup and you feel like hors d'oeuvres are being passed around. You grab a little prawn skewer, but here you get to feel like you have a whole little platter to yourself. I'm Erica, and I'm a professional cook, culinary producer, and recipe developer based in Los Angeles. My approach to working with food is about prioritizing seasonal and organic ingredients, making room for creativity and play, colorful, tasty, and time-friendly, with tips and tricks for everything from how to substitute different ingredients to what to do with leftovers. I hope you'll enjoy them. All right, for our ingredients, we have some new Caledonia Blue Prawns. If you're ever curious about where you're sourcing your seafood from, I definitely suggest checking out seafoodwatch.org. It's a really good resource. We have some sweet white corn for our gazpacho with some sun-gold tomatoes. We've got a baby bell pepper and a little summer squash, all yellow, to give the sunny energy of refreshing gazpacho. We've got a lot of lemon. We'll use it for some juice and as a garnish. We've got nice basil, which smells lovely. And we've got some olive oil, garlic, some chili crisp, some Aleppo pepper, softened butter, and some champagne vinegar. So the first thing we're gonna do is turn on our broiler on high. That's what's gonna make the shrimp thyme cookery very fast. And we want to make a little mix of olive oil, lemon juice, and garlic to coat our shrimp with for some flavor. Get some olive oil in there, grate in some garlic. And squeeze in some lemon juice. Try not to get any seeds. And we'll whisk that together. And we'll just make sure each shrimp, each prawn is nicely coated. And we'll season those with some salt. And those are just about ready to go. Let's check on the temperature under the broiler. Feels nice and warm. So these are only going to take 4 minutes total to cook. So we'll put them in now for 2 minutes. We'll take them out, give them a flip, make sure that all sides are getting even cooking, and leave them in for another 2 more minutes, and we'll be set. And then we just need them to chill down for a little, so. Now we want to gently turn all of our prawns over so that they get an equal cook time. And we'll put them back in probably just for 1 minute. They cook really quickly. You don't want to touch these skewers because they're scalding hot from being under the broiler. So these are going back in. Prawns are ready. You always want them to be around 140 to 145 Fahrenheit, but if they're a couple degrees under, they're gonna, because they're so small, they're gonna keep cooking through once you remove them from the oven. So we're just gonna let those cool off for a little bit while we make our gazpacho. So we're just gonna toss our corn, almost all of it. This is about a cup of corn, which is about 1 ear of corn, but we'll save some for garnish because it's nice to have a little extra texture in there. Put about 8 to 10 of our sun gold tomatoes. And we'll save some of those for garnish as well. We're gonna quickly, roughly chop our summer squash, so just remove the ends. And then get that in there. We're gonna do the same with our yellow bell pepper. And just roughly chop that up too. Our champagne vinegar. Some garlic, chopped up. You could also, if you wanted to add any other herbs or vegetables, if you wanted to add cucumbers, you could do that. If you want to keep this yellow, you probably want to peel the cucumber. And now we're going to add in a little bit of ice so that this is ready to serve right away. Otherwise, if you are using a food processor or something that doesn't crush ice as well, just make this ahead of time and you can chill it for 2 hours or however long you need to before you're ready to eat it. And now we're gonna stream in some olive oil as we blend as well. So once you've got your gazpacho ready, you want to taste it. First we'll season it with salt. It's great. Now we'll get some garnishes ready. A few extra sun gold tomatoes to put on top of our bowl. We'll just half them. Choose some basil that we think looks the best. Tomato with a little bit of salt as well. And we are going to season our prawns with some lovely Aleppo pepper. It's pretty mild. It's kind of fruity and citrusy, but it does add a little bit of smokiness to counter the brightness of our gazpacho. Now, we are ready to assemble. If you wanted to, you could sieve this, as in pass it through a sieve to get out any extra texture and make it really silky smooth soft. But I think it's nice with a little bit of texture. If you're using a blender, it makes it pretty smooth, so I'm not sure that's all that necessary, but you can if you want to. So add a little chili oil for some more. Get some fresh tomatoes, some fresh corn. And then we'll just garnish pretty generously with some fresh basil, which really does always smell amazing. Maybe a touch more chili oil. Plate for our prawns here. And these are great too if you want to make more and serve them for guests or save them for salads, tacos. So let's give these a try. Serve these up with some lemon.